Hello, beloved. It's me, Robin Hallett, intuitive healer and light sparkler at robinhallett.com. And this is Tea with Robin. On today's episode, there's a lot moving right now. Holidays are coming, an uptick in COVID cases, shifting seasons, and our own feelings about all of that and more. How are we allowing ourselves to enter into this time now? Plus our inspiration, the authentic joy list, allowing ourselves to know what we love and honor that. And we'll have a letter from #AfraidToLaunch. You ever have this thing where you want to do something and you don't do it because you're scared and you listen to all your bad advice? Yeah, all this and more. Come grab a cup of yum yum and meet me here. Well, hello, beautiful friend. It's me, Robin. Welcome back to the podcast, Tea with Robin. This is episode 115. If this is your first time listening, hi. Thanks for being here. I hope it is a beautiful space for you to just receive for yourself. Friends returning, how have you been? How's the week been going? How is the weather in your heart today? I'm noticing a lot of things in the healing room these days. I'm hearing a lot of stories, and I wonder if you are staying awake and aware of the external pressure that the energy of this world may be introducing to your life these days. And honoring that pressure is not you. You are not the pressure. So I hope that you've been maybe connecting those dots and also allowing yourself to do the things you need to do to take care of yourself now. So much of the time it's about adjusting, honoring what is and adjusting to that. Over here, it's a beautiful day. I'm always excited to come and talk to you. I was out on a walk this morning, and the weather is just so beautiful. Still got a lot of fall leaves up, but we're getting near the end here, and the sun is shining. The sky is such a beautiful turquoise. Well, it's really like a robin's egg blue. It's just gorgeous, and a lot of insights have been coming to me in these times where I'm just allowing a big breather for myself, for me. So many beautiful things keep coming to my awareness. So I'm looking forward to talking to you about that coming up. But first, did you bring a cup of yum yum with yourself? With yourself. Because you brought yourself. And then you brought a cup of yum yum with yourself, hopefully, right? Oh, boy. Did you bring some yum yum with you? I have a whole thermos here today. I'm in the middle of a work day, which I love. It's so much fun. I'll be offering a healing circle later this afternoon, and this is the sweet spot where I get to come and talk to you. So cheers to this moment, to the perfection in this moment now. Cheers to the all in all is well. And yeah, cheers. Oh, that's hot. I always forget the thermos keeps things very hot. I'm sipping the Irish breakfast tea with stevia and sea salt. And not too long ago, a friend of mine wrote from Ireland to say, Irish breakfast tea is not a thing in Ireland. It's just tea. And I get that. It'd be like Chicago-style pizza. If we order in Chicago, we don't call it, I'd like some Chicago-style pizza, please. So, okay, I'm clear on that. Thank you. So, since we last spoke, I wonder how the week has been going for you. There are a lot of things happening. Starting to see more restrictions again on COVID stuff. I don't know what else to say. Pandemic-related stuff. It looks like in the White House, things are still shaking themselves out, and
thinking about the holidays coming. COVID, it's really not advised that we get together and be together. That's hard. It's hard for me. I don't even like saying it here. I'm just going to stick with those examples. I know there's a gajillion more, but I think that's good for for today. Those are powerful energies that can hang over you in a way. And if not you, the people in your lives, and if not the people in your lives, it's in your neighborhood. This energy can be really intense. And this whole month, I said this last week, this whole month, the energy for you personally is about knowing yourself inside the shift storm that might be happening around you. Knowing who you are, knowing what you feel, knowing what you want, knowing how it is for you, knowing what you need, and then also honoring those things. That's what this time is about. So if you're feeling any pressure, or other people around you are feeling pressure, hang in there with yourself and try and remember that the important thing is that you allow space for yourself. So less doing and more being. This really will help calm and soothe you in these potentially stressy times, because I'm not trying to talk you into being stressed out if you're not, but it helps. Slow down. Take care of yourself. Pay attention if you're feeling wound up or tight or extra stressy. How many ways can I say that? Pay attention to yourself and honor some downtime for you. Okay? Yes. So I was saying before, I'm thinking about holidays. I don't know what we're calling it in the States now, but I'll say the holiday formerly known as Thanksgiving. That's the first one up for us. That we would always get together for Thanksgiving, and we're not going to be getting together. And I'm a little bit sad about it, maybe more than a little bit. And I'm also okay with it, but I definitely noticed that in my heart right now. And I'm wondering, how are you doing with that? I wonder, are you making plans to get together? Are you not sure what's happening because of the new cases? What are you doing, and how are you taking care of yourself? This isn't an either or conversation today. Either you're all good or you're not. Either this applies to you or it doesn't. This applies to all of us globally. Even if you're not in the States, even if you don't celebrate Thanksgiving or the holiday formerly known as Thanksgiving, even if you are getting together with all of your family, it's still impactful, energetically speaking, because the collective is experiencing this. So psychically speaking, the energy is pressing. Does that make sense? There's energy pressing on you and on me, and you might be feeling more than you know right now. If not you, somebody you know. You know what I'm saying? I think it feels like a very important thing for us to keep in mind, to keep noting that if we're feeling off, if we're feeling funky, do you ever feel funky? Hey, this could be psychic pressure just in the world right now, just in the world with everything going on. Psychic pressure, or the collective stress, if you prefer that term. We're feeling this. It's not necessarily us. You know what I mean? It's not necessarily you, but you're tuned in because you're awake. You're feeling a certain amount of energy right now. And so if you are having some personal feels about life, like I do feel some sadness about the holiday, about not getting together with our kids inside our home. All summer long we've been able to do that outside, but it's 24 degrees here today in Chicago, So that's out. And, we're all doing life differently, and it is not something we're going to do to mix, I don't know, mix inside our home. You know what I'm saying? God. Who knew we'd have to have all these lingos, a year ago? It still blows my mind, So I do feel some sadness. And you know what? It's okay to feel some sadness. The thing is, though, that's mine. And then there's the whole energy surrounding us that is not mine. God, I hope I'm making sense today. I do. The risk here is if I'm not keeping it straight about the world, the heaviness of this time, that's just a heavy time, I may assume this is all me and begin a process of attacking myself or, being hard on myself. But it's just no, you're feeling sad in the midst of a time that's also very, very heavy. And I feel like that changes things for me. I can relax a little bit then. Just know this is a big time. This is a heavier time. Does that make sense? Let me take it easy. Let me rest. Let me honor what I'm needing. Let me honor my sadness. If I'm feeling sad about Thanksgiving, on Thanksgiving, the holiday formerly known as Thanksgiving, or any other holiday. We just had Diwali today. I'm actually recording on Diwali. And if you celebrate that, happy Diwali. I wish you all the joy and prosperity and light in this coming year. If I'm feeling sad about anything in this time or disappointed, isn't that a good word too? Disappointed. If I'm feeling let down, can I sit with what might feel good to do? Because the bottom line is we're not going to all get together. We're not going to be able to go to a restaurant. We're not going to be able to cook here at the house. Can I honor that? And can I sit with my feelings and take care of me? A lot of people have been talking to me about it, and they're like, it's just one day. Stay home. It's just one day. It's just one day. It's not a big deal. It's just one day. And I mean no offense to anybody who's going around saying that, but I'm saying if you are sad, if you do feel some feelings, it's totally okay to have feelings. You don't have to always be so brave and flip about it's just one day. If you have feelings, let yourself have your feelings. I happen to think the world needs more feeling people. It's important. So, yeah. Take care of your needs. Be kind to yourself. Something else I've been noticing a lot right now is how we have resistance. Resistance, like as it relates to honoring your needs and being kind with those parts of yourself. You might not always like what you're discovering. We have reactions, and then we judge how we're reacting. We judge how we're feeling. We judge the way we're behaving. Instead of just saying, hey, this is a tough time. These are challenging circumstances. It's okay. It's all right. Don't be so hard on yourself. Whatever. You talk to yourself. Okay, ideally, that's what you would be doing. But most of us aren't doing that because we don't know. So instead, we go into resistance. Do you know what I mean by resistance? We fight it off. Instead of giving ourselves what we need, we fight it off. We swirl about it. We think about it. We say mean things to ourselves. That's all resistance. It's just resistance. So I've been finding myself in a lot of conversations with people right now saying, this is just resistance. It's not a big deal. You have to find a way to push it to the side. You're critiquing of yourself or your busy mental conversations you're having about COVID or the president or the you know what I'm saying? Like, it's push it to the side and keep going on what matters to you, because that is just resistance trying to assert itself. So a lot of people have resistance. they'll say to me, how do I get past my resistance? I just don't like it that I feel this way, or, I know I'm supposed to be doing this stuff, but I can't make myself. They'll put a lot of energy into their resistance. They'll make a big deal about their resistance. But the thing is, it's just resistance. It's no big deal. Do you have this? Do you do this? I sort of feel like the world has made a lot of money in helping people overcome their resistance. And it seems like we've become more and more burrowed into the resistance itself, to the noticing the problem in what's wrong and identifying ourselves as resistant, It's okay. It's just resistance. Just know that it's there and continue to honor what matters to you. And I have a feeling your resistance isn't the important part, right? I was just talking to a friend of mine. The conversation was, it's not that there won't be resistance there. It's that we need to know the resistance is there and keep going in the direction we choose, because everything is a choice. We're making choices all day long, and it is our choice that leads us always. Even when we're in a reactionary place and we think we're reacting to someone else's stuff, we're still choosing to do that, Yeah. So I told you last week, episode 114, This Is Your Experience, it was called, that I've been making some shifts in what I need, and it's been a big deal. I have been just letting myself adjust, acclimate to not doing the daily morning magics I was doing for almost, 3/4 of a year daily. Adjusting to that rhythm of, I no longer have that in the mornings. My day is not anchored around that anymore. And I'm noticing there's an adjustment. And so I spent the week largely relaxing, taking it easy, living my life as I felt pleased to do, trying out some different things in the mornings that I would normally not do in the mornings, and really working on allowing myself to be easy and free, even though there's this discomfort of, I don't know if discomfort is the perfect word, but I'm going to go with that because that's what I said. But this energy of there's stuff going on. I'm in the period of transition right now. I'm transforming some things. I'm transforming. The world is transforming. People in my life are transforming. There's this energy that's also here. And it's kind of like I need to keep that straight, that's what that is. Otherwise, I risk taking it in and making it personal and assuming something about me. The truth might be closer to, I'm really good. Things are going really well. And there's this energy around, this climate of intensity that's around me, but that's not necessarily my experience. Does that make sense? I've been loving your feedback. I've been hearing from a number of you about different things, from the inspiration we have been talking about the last few episodes, to the topics we're talking about. And it tells me the uptick in responses that more of us are relating to this time than ever before. And that is a very cool thing, because even if we don't hang out together or we don't talk every day, we're going together. We're making our way together. And there is something to that. There's more of us doing these moves to be free, to honor what is, to be in the flow, to help others, to help the world by being ourselves. There's more of us making this journey than we realize. That's a very big comfort to me. It helps to keep that perspective, especially when the world feels small sometimes. It's helpful to remember that we're making our way. So when you're being reminded that we're on the journey together and your experience is very familiar to other people, we can know we're on the right track. We're in the flow.
You know, we're in the flow of our own journey, and other people are having a similar experience on their journey. And that's a beautiful thing. We're doing all right. It's okay. And it's okay to be okay, even though the world might not be okay. That is the practice. So one of the things that came to me this morning as I was listening for guidance, it just kept coming through that stop resisting what you love. Stop resisting yourself. Stop resisting what you are needing. Stop resisting your truth. So much of the time, what's needed is your honesty, your honest acknowledgement of how you're doing and what you're needing. Stop making what you want to do wrong. Stop second guessing it. There's an inner, I have a note here. I'm looking down on my phone. I kind of put some notes together for things I wanted to say today. And one line here says, "Shut up, taskmaster." You got a taskmaster in your head that's like just barking out the plays, barking out what it needs you to be doing today, and always offering its carpy advice about how you're not doing it the right way. There's a right way for everything according to your inner taskmaster, you know. And I swear, this one in us, it really just wants us to be upset. It wants us to stay in a state of un-okayness, you know. So, yeah, even though I don't like to say shut up, I do. Shut up, taskmaster. Sometimes that's the only thing I can say, because how do you know that what you're doing now is the wrong thing? How do you know that what you love is wrong? How could it ever be wrong? It's just you. You know, you don't have that inner negative one with your true self, with the real you. That part is not, that taskmaster isn't part of that equation. So it's okay to be kind and gentle with yourself and be in the flow of your perfect creation, whatever that is, whether you're, you know, working out, or you're walking, or you're working all day, or you're cleaning, or you're in the middle of a mess and you don't know what's going to happen. It's still true that you're in the perfect flow of your creation, your choices, your perspective, and you're always able to choose how you want this to be for you. When the Course in Miracles says, "I choose the feelings I experience, and I decide on the goal I would achieve. And everything that seems to happen to me, I ask for and receive as I have asked." It's no joke. We're the ones in charge. We're the ones calling these plays, you know, and that should be a great inspirer to us, that we can choose again if we don't like what we're conjuring for ourselves, you know? So be proud of your creations, even the crappy ones, the places you get lost in sinkholes in the day, you get lost in upset in the day. Say, I did that. I created that. I thought this way, and I created, from moment to moment, I created a continual experience based on what I put my focus on. And that's very cool, regardless of how I enjoyed it or not, you know, or the outcome. It's more like that process is how manifesting works. Isn't that a much more beautiful way to look at your resistance? To say, I'm always choosing. I'm free to choose. Right now I'm choosing resistance. I'm choosing to be in resistance. And I did that. I'm still doing that. It might seem weird to you that I'm saying, take some pride, take some ownership. But you're going to try this once and get exactly why I'm asking you to consider this. Because it's going to shift you. It's going to shift your focus. So what happens when I allow myself to shift that energy? So if I say I'm going to be proud of my creations, even the shifty ones,
Okay, wait, let's pause for the big airplane. If I say even the stuff that I didn't enjoy today, I'm proud of myself because I created that. I made this thing. I want to make a better thing next time, That's kind of a cool thing to practice on. I'm always in the flow of my perfect creation, and I'm always creating. This has been my big realization this week, that there'll always be another problem. There'll always be another set of dishes to wash, another load of laundry to do. There'll always be another bill to pay. There'll always be something else, but I can choose how I roll with this now. I can choose the experience. I can choose the story. So I'm going to not resist what I love. I'm going to let myself fill my time intentionally. When you realize choosing your own preference, it's really about receiving yourself as you are in what you're needing and making it good. All of it is up to us, and that should be enormously freeing. Okay, the last thing I wanted to say today before I share inspiration and read our letter. I'm always like, don't hang up yet. There's more. But this is the last thing for this essay here today. Friends have pointed out to me many times in the last couple weeks how much I've been saying we have to get used to the feeling of spacious expansiveness. It brings anxiety sometimes. There might be less to do right now. There might be less work right now. There might be less tumult right now, less upset, more joy, and that is going to bring its own energy of chaos in. But as you consider, it's sort of like being in a little bit of a bigger house, bigger energy, or the caterpillar who is now the butterfly has wings. It's just weird. It doesn't mean it's bad or wrong. We have to acclimate. So make sure you're doing that. And I keep telling friends, remind yourself that this is part of what's going on now. You might be noticing more time on your hands, more quiet time. And what I notice is that we tend to look at ourselves first, blame ourselves, wonder what's wrong. So, just keep remembering this is that time. Part of what the gift in this time is to help us slow down and choose our experience. How do you want to roll in this time? Rest, take naps, play, do things that are easy. Let yourself enjoy your life as it is. Do your thing. Do your thing. Stop resisting what you love. Stop making it wrong. Let yourself do what you want to do. Okay? May that serve you today. So this week's inspiration, I love knowing that you're practicing. I love that, getting that feedback that you've been practicing these things we're trying. Last week, the shift list. This week, the joyful love list, the list about what it is that's authentically joyful producing for you. Allow yourself to receive your life with joy. So, what do you love to do? What are the things that are unique, specific for you? What do you love? Let yourself compile a little list. This is going to be a list that you allow yourself to review. And when you have these expanses of time and you feel some resistance, but you want to do something sweet for yourself, you can refer to the list. When you want to orient yourself again, if you're trying to navigate your way on the journey, it helps to focus on things, to locate ourselves. This list is full of the things that you love to do. It can be a running list you keep adding to on your phone, so that in the times where you feel scared or alone or lost or just you know how you get when you get how you get, So this is a list that's going to help you. And We do it in the good times, in the willing times, so that in those forgetful times, it's there for us. This is what I love to do. This is what I'm into. When I'm not resisting what I love, when I'm not making what I love wrong, I can embrace my joy, my juicy joy, my unique joy. What do you love to do? Friends tell me they love to rearrange and clean out cubbies and clutter. Some people really get excited about that, moving furniture around. Other of you like to watch Bravo with a glass of wine and a nice lunch tray in the middle of the day. Some of you love to read, listen to music. These things, you need to think about what it is for you, what it is that you love, what it is that makes you happy, and put it together on a list, if that feels right anyway. You know, it's about learning to honor the energy of what would bring more joy to you. It's about allowing yourself to be grounded in your body in a way that you're not just swirling in your head with all the stories and the thoughts and the concerns. To allow yourself to be grounded in what you enjoy. Then you feel this permission to do it while you're doing it. It isn't such a resistance thing then where you never get started. Let's say you want to watercolor or draw or doodle or make some. You know, I hung my Christmas lights this week. It's what will allow you to actually do the thing instead of making the excuses. Does that make sense? I know for me, one of the biggest joys is taking walks and listening to music. And I realized this morning doing that, I was listening to a song. Does anybody know Ozzy Osbourne's Crazy Train? And was anybody growing up when that song was released, remember it that way? You know, for me, the funny memories of that time. And I realized there was so much awkward, embarrassed shame that just arose, like from who I was as a young teenager and exploring and doing things. I was like, wow, you know, that's interesting that this song, listening to this song, singing the words, you know, remembering that time, that would be the thing that comes back to me, this awkward, embarrassed shame. And I stopped right there. I was walking along, actually at the baseball field at the park. I stood on the home plate and I put my hands on my chest. I bet they know me at the park by now. Like, here comes that weird lady again. She's going to walk the bases. And then she's going to stand on the home plate. I usually do that every time I go to the park. I stood there and I was like, you know what? I love you, Robin. I'm proud of you. I'm proud of all your experiences, all your creations. And today I allow all memories to be received in joy. That's profound. I allow all memories to be received in joy because we're always receiving memories and, you know, we might be having a difficult time, judging ourselves, shaming ourselves, remembering things. We have to set the hostages free. So all that comes out of like permission to do what you love, permission to do the things you want to do. I let myself go for a walk and listen to music on a busy day when I need to be getting ready for lots of other things. I could always be working. You know how it is. I went and did this thing, and you know what? It turned out amazing. I had all this awareness, all this fun, all this joy, all this awareness, this guidance, messages that came through for friends I'll be seeing later today. And so if you can allow yourself to do what's on your joy list, I feel like it's a time when the veil is very thin, meaning the higher self in you or the guides that are trying to talk to you have access, because you're not weighted down under a blanket of heaviness or stress or shoulds or to-do lists, worries. You're free. You're free. You're free. You're free. And in that freedom comes awareness that you absolutely need in this time. So may that serve you. And if you try it, you see me posting somewhere, I always love to hear what your experience brought you. Cheers. Friends, I would so appreciate if you would share this episode on. If you receive a nugget or something calls to you, please share this on and help other friends who are walking with us, maybe not together with us, but walking with us anyway, receive the same. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. So, today's letter, I think it's one you're going to relate to, whether you are, I think it's one, let me just say, I think you will relate to this. And I will just dive in. This goes out to you, Jerry. Thank you so much for writing. And friends listening, I'm always loving your letters and always love to shine a light and share some love with you, some inspiration. Write to me, hello@robinhallett.com, or reach out to me on social media. Hi, it's me, Robin Hallett. Okay. Hi, Robin. Well, I recently completed my Reiki practitioner training. I have paid for the courses that have taught me how to get my website up. I've been working on the branding, my following, etc. I keep thinking I need just one more thing, and then I'll feel ready. But clearly, this is not the case. I'm so far down the rabbit hole of just one more thing, I feel completely paralyzed and afraid to launch. Please help, and I love to hear a story on how you got started. Thank you, always. I so appreciate you here. I appreciate you. Your kind thoughtfulness is much appreciated. And maybe you don't know, but I sure feel like your stories are a constant for many of us during lockdown times. There is support, sunrise, coffee, daily routine, a rhythm that can be very supportive. Please keep sharing. I don't always get to see or comment, but I remember to check when I'm down, and they have such a calming effect. Thank you very much. Best regards, Jerry. Wow, Jerry, there's a lot here to talk about. It's beautiful. And I thank you so much about the stories, mentioning the stories on Instagram. This is where Jerry reached out to me, by the way, talking about the joy list a little while ago. It has taken me the longest time to really get and see and appreciate how much I love to take pictures and post them in my stories. It has taken me a long time to embrace it, and it's through that practice of allowing myself to name it on a list and keep seeing that there and realizing through my own daily machinations, like I really love journaling my day. And I do feel like it's a powerful outlet for me. It's a creative outlet, but I know how many of you talk about the stories, and it's fantastic. So thank you for mentioning that. Congratulations. You're a Reiki practitioner. You're a Reiki master, whatever we call that these days. I so get what you're saying about the just one more thing, just one more thing, just one more thing, just one more thing. You asked me to tell you a story. The one that's coming to mind right now for you is one day how number one husband said, "Robin, we're spending a lot of money on your business and you're not even working yet." And the harsh reality was I kept getting hooked into the story that I needed one more thing, as if the right laptop or the right monitor was going to make people trust and want to work with me and trust me. And really, if I could help you bypass some of this BS we put ourselves through, it's that your ego is running this show now. Your ego has you totally on lockdown. It's telling you that you're not enough and you won't be enough. And it's really preying on your sensitivities and your care. These are core qualities I'm guessing you have that are genuine to your soul, but it's preying on these things and contorting them for its own purposes. So I would really encourage you, why are you doing this business now? What is calling you to help people? Is this something you do anyway for free? I mean, that's me. I'm on healing. This is where I'm at 24/7. I don't know why I'm wired that way. I don't know if it's some lifetime commitment, if I've been doing this forever. I just know I genuinely love people. I genuinely am interested in their stories. I care. And honestly, being in business is a way for me to manage that a little bit. So if you want to be with me, I mean, not to sound crass, but you can pay me and we'll be together, because otherwise there's just being in business helps you put a boundary around certain offerings, and it helps you value yourself. It helps you value what you're offering. It helps people receive what you have to share. There needs to be an exchange always. There needs to be an exchange. Otherwise, we can't value what we're sharing, and others can't receive in a meaningful way what is being offered. And if you think about that, you're going to see the connections too. I guess the biggest thing is, do you value what you're here to offer? What you want to share? What you're excited about? Do you value your service? Because if you keep saying one more thing and you're afraid and you're buying into the BS of your ego stories, clearly you're not valuing it, what you're here to do. You're not valuing yourself as an important, worthy member of planet Earth who has something to share. And I would get to work on that pronto. Too much time is spent on getting another certificate, another degree, another like a laptop, monitor, higher bandwidth, all these things that we can get lost in. It's really a mask for our fear. What are you afraid of? Get to that. I have a course. It's called Lightworker Love. I have a course online that is fantastic. I cover so many things. It's pretty much evergreen content, but I taught the class live a couple of years ago, and it is powerful stuff. We talk about so many topics, from the fear of missing out to the fear of not being good enough, fear of asking people to pay you. Oh my goodness. And so many good Robin stories. So, get going. Please put a boundary on the part of your mind that is saying it needs more. It's not ready. You'll never be ready. I tell people almost every time I come to a session. One day this week I did a bunch of readings. I do these things called rockstar readings that I came up with on my own, by the way. I made a reading up that I was interested in doing. Again, if you're going to be in business, you need to have authority over what you need to honor the authority over what you love and know, and really allow yourself free rein to do it your way. So I came up with these readings. I was never interested in being the intuitive that told people things that seemed silly to me, like what color is the horse the man is going to ride in on when he comes to whisk you away from all this. I could care less. And I've always been, even in kindergarten, somebody who was interested in helping people take responsibility for their journey, to own their journey, own their time, own their choices. I've always been that way. So when people would come, or in the early days, to see me, and they would say, just tell me what you see, I wanted to throw my shoe at their head. And I realized, like, hey, you got to honor how you are. You got to honor how you roll. And so I came up with this thing I called the Rockstar reading, and just really satisfying for me, and I feel really confident. Anyway, it's very cool. But the point was, I somehow had several, this day I had several back to back, and I was having the confidence wobbles like you can't believe before I began. And I just said to myself, oh no. My mind was like, hey, you should do this, you should do that, you should do this, you should do that. It doesn't go away. I'm trying to tell you. This is me, 20 years in. It doesn't go away. Oh, you should rearrange this. Your hair is weird. Maybe you should put some cover up on. Your mind is just going, none of it matters. So, but you could be in there recognizing it and saying, hey, knock it off. Let's go. We're here, fired up, ready to go. I love what I do. I love the people I help. I love talking about healing. I love reminding people how beautiful they are, how on point they are. What do you love, Jerry? What do you love about what you're about to do? Too many of us get into certain things like this because we have ego crap going on that we're not even aware of. I'm not just talking to Jerry, okay? If there's so much ego going on, it's like we're finally going to become somebody. We're going to become this, person who's like going to be respected and seen as the one with all the answers. And, all those bitches from 7th grade are finally going to know. Or high school or whatever. You know what I'm saying? No. That's not why we're doing healing. I'm always reminded in the Course in Miracles how there is no teacher and student. Even though they use that language, there really is just me and you, and wherever two or more are gathered, God is there also. The light of awareness is there also. So in a way, it's like I need to show up, I need to be present, and allow the light of God in, or however you want to say that. But I don't need to be this massive expert and all my ducks in a row, for lack of a better thing. It's not about our ego or us. Do you remember Galadriel in Lord of the Rings in the second movie where she gets the ring from Frodo for a moment and she turns into this total dark, scary person? She's like, instead of a queen, you'll have a dark queen with this kind of power. And everyone will fear me and despair, there's a way that your ego unchecked will bring in such a dark cloud and so much drama and chaos, and it will drive you to do things. No, step back. Let God lead the way. That part of our mind that's like, I'm going to be this, like this mashup of all the people you like online and whatever. No, just be yourself. Be here to serve. Be here to love. And the guides, the angels, the energies that work with me, that come to me and talk to me for other people, it's always about, why wouldn't we take care of you if you're honoring your spark? Why wouldn't we align you with the right people? You have important work to do. You're here to serve. Why wouldn't we help you? Of course we will. So you got to trust in that as well. And the thing I was saying before about students and teachers, we're always learning from each other. So this cycle you're in right now, I'm not good enough. I need more things. I don't know if there's all these psychic things going off right now. I don't know if I'm good enough. I don't know if I have enough amassed knowledge, credentials, technology, etc. Step out of that for a minute with me and see how much this very conversation I'm having with you right now is because I went through that phase too. So thank this phase, love this phase, bless this phase, and, bring it to a close. Please, with love. Nobody gives a crap that you're a master of Reiki. I got to be honest. And I can tell you this. I'll tell you one more story before I hang up for the day. And I don't mean any disrespect, but nobody gives a crap what your credentials are. Those are earthly credentials. What matters is what's in your heart and the vibe and your presence. Are you able to hold space with somebody and help them? Really help them, which means you're out of your way. You're out of the way of ego. It's not really you. You're the vessel or you're the vehicle for the light coming through. But I went to a healing school called Barbara Brennan. And somewhere more than halfway, probably about 3/4 of the way through, it was a 4-year training, the first part. And somewhere in that period, this is just for me. Hello, fellow Barbara Brennan friends. This is just for me. I was done. I was done. I started to see through certain things that just didn't work for me anymore. That's how awakening is. You just realize you don't need to be there anymore. You're done. So I had a roster of healing clients at the time who were coming to see me for free in exchange. There's always an exchange for doing the practices with them and writing up the homework and turning in the homework. We had these student healings. And I remember at the time really being scared. How am I going to tell them I've dropped out of this training that they are here to see me for? Like, that's why we're here. That's why we're here. That's why we're here. That's why they're here. So basically, I am 3/4 done and I'm leaving. And my big worry was, do you want a 3/4 done healer, helper, counselor? I don't think so. But I was wrong. I was really, really wrong about that. And you know how I know I was wrong? Because I was so nervous to tell my clients, my student clients at the time, that I made a note card, an index card, and I wrote down this little speech about how it was time for me to go, and and it wasn't the, I was ready, and, I totally understand if you don't want to work with me. Do you know what everybody said? I bet you're guessing. Do you know what they said? What program was that again? They didn't even know. They didn't give a crap about the school or the certificate. What do you think they gave the crap about? Themselves. Yes, and how it made them feel. and how they were doing. And that somebody was there holding space with them and listening to them and loving them and supporting them and encouraging them and remembering them. So basically, it was about them. They were seeing me because it made them feel good, better, whatever. So certification has its place. It certainly does. But if you're hanging on anything like it's going to automatically catapult you into something, let's look a little deeper at the fear stories. So the 3 things I would suggest is asking yourself, what am I afraid of? And don't be defended. It's easy to be defended, but like, do you give a care about helping yourself through this? Then ask the question, what am I so afraid of? You'll get answers. Next thing, if I wasn't afraid, what would I be doing? And the third question, this comes from last week's podcast. This is the experience I'm choosing. Am I liking the experience I'm choosing? Yes or no? Ooh, the wind is really kicking up. If you heard that, a branch just hit the house. So I hope that helps you, Jerry. I so appreciate this question. I know it's one a lot of people will relate to. And again, look into Lightworker Love. It's online. It's totally, I think there are 12 lessons and a bunch of journaling prompts and things like that. Really, really powerful stuff. I think it will help. I also have an earlier course called the Healing Practitioner course, which is beautiful as well. So may that serve you today. Well, friends, I'm finishing this up now on a Sunday morning over here. We found a new beautiful table at a thrift store nearby we love, and I'm so excited. We're going to make some space in the dining room for it today. We can't go get it because it's wow, is there a windstorm? But we're going to make space for it today. And I love so much how the joy list I was talking about earlier, when you really let yourself know what you love. We looked out on the dining room very recently, and I said to Jeff, that's number one husband, we never used the dining room. And now with COVID, it's definitely not going to be happening. We won't be entertaining, but we love to sit in the kitchen nook every day. That's where we hang out. And if we eat dinner, we like to eat in there too. I guess you just invest more of your time there. It's cuter, it's cozier, So I said, in a perfect world, I want to paint in there. I want to do things together like puzzles. He said, I want a bigger table. I want a good table for puzzles. We need to get something in there temporarily for puzzles. And it was so funny how it works that a little later that day, I sat outside and I said, okay, Spirit, surprise me. I'd love a fun surprise today. Anything goes. I wasn't even thinking about the dining room. And how it often happens, you just get this hit. Oh, I'm going to go. Oh, let's go check out. If you live near me, the store is called Lucille. Let's go check out Lucille's and see what's there. So we went with our masks and our wipes and all those things. I don't go out a ton into stores and stuff, but yes, when the thrifting vibe calls, you gotta go. So we walked in and holy crap. Sorry, whoops, a big branch just came down on the deck outside. And there was the new table. The new table with a gorgeous bench and 4 beautiful chairs, the perfect thing. It's like you could be looking for something forever, and we have been, a dining set, and then this appears, and it's like poof, poof, it all came together. So I'm telling you that because really, let yourself love what you love. Let yourself name what you want, and then be open to being surprised. I'm awfully chatty today, aren't I? Well, I'm going to go get to play with those things now. So this has been me, Robin, Heart Sparkler, Awesome Sauce, Hallelujah, Hallett. And I'm going to see you here again next week or in a few minutes. Lots of love to you. Bye. Life is very short, let's make the very most of it. You are a precious gem and I love you. Do, 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 do. We are here to shine and shine bright. You are a gem and I love you. Do, 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 do. Life is precious and you are a spark of the divine. So shine like you know it, rock it like you mean it, 'cause you really, really mean it, and mean it, and mean it, and mean it, and mean it. Don't let crispy people tell you that you aren't sparkly, 'cause you are, 'cause you are, 'cause you are. Thank you. I like that. I love it, honey. Thank you. Give me a kiss.